In January 2008, 20-year-old Abbigale is a full-time college student living with her boyfriend, Ethan.
Hey, baby.
We had talked about kids, but after we got married...
We were actually talking marriage.
Abby and Ethan just clicked as soon as they met each other.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
In January, Abbigale takes an antibiotic for a sinus infection, but doesn't use a backup method of birth control. In February, she misses her period.
What you watching?
Your favorite?
But her period resumes in the middle of the following month, and again 2 weeks later.
March made up for what I missed in February, and from there on out, I had bleeding every month.
In April, Abbigale develops an adverse reaction to dairy products.
Certain foods, mostly things that had milk in them.
Hey, can we get a check on camera 3?
That July, she gains 3 pounds after she starts a night shift as a surveillance agent.
Copy that, 10-4.
She also notices that her feet are swollen.
She started putting a little weight on.
I figured it was my job change. I sit at a desk for 8 hours, and it was just about all the sugar and caffeine I could get.
Happy Halloween.
A few weeks later, on Halloween night, Abbigale feels a pain in her abdomen that she believes is constipation.
It was more or less like a twinge. It didn't last very long.
Probably just the ribs I ate.
Probably.
By 10 p.m., what she thinks is constipation is now causing extreme pain.
It went from being like a twinge to almost like a severe pinch. And they were lasting a little bit longer, coming in waves. I really thought I had to go to the bathroom.
She sat on the toilet probably about 30, 35 minutes, and nothing happened.
I was very quiet. It was about 10:45, and I finally decided I had had enough. So I just sat down on the toilet, I grabbed the door handle and the sink, and just with everything I had, just pushed.
Honey?
And I was sitting and sitting on the toilet, trying, and it just was not happening. And I heard a pop. As soon as I heard that pop, I felt better. I was like, oh, thank God.
Honey?
I just felt almost normal again. Felt like I had went to the bathroom. I was gonna go to bed. After I was done and I stood up, I turned to flush the toilet. And as I was turning, that's when I noticed I was attached. And I looked down and I realized it wasn't what I thought it was. I looked down and I saw the baby sitting in the toilet. And I started to panic.
With no pain medication or assistance, Abbigale has just vaginally delivered a baby girl without even knowing she was pregnant.
It had dawned on me that the clunk and the splash that I had heard was her hitting the toilet bowl. I didn't know if maybe the hit in the toilet had killed her. She didn't move. She was lifeless. Her eyes weren't open. She made no sounds.
I never heard her scream at all. I never heard her cry.
Then, Abbigale does something not recommended by doctors.
And I got in the shower and I turned the hot water on so it would heat the room. Just keep thinking to myself, did my drinking affect her? Is she full term? Everything I had done over the last 9 months came flooding back into my head. And I was scared that what kind of brain damage would it have caused?
It's gonna be okay, baby.
She started making a little noise, which progressed into a cry.
A newborn cried. She screamed. Abby? I opened the bathroom door and I saw Abby sitting there naked on the floor holding a baby with the umbilical cord still attached to her.
Ethan, I didn't know.
I'm gonna call 911. Need somebody over here quick, please. It is my girlfriend. She just had a baby.
EMTs arrive quickly to cut the umbilical cord and rush the family to the hospital. Ethan calls her parents with the shocking news.
She had a baby.
Abby did what?
They took the baby right away.
If a woman doesn't receive prenatal care, some very severe consequences could occur.
Just get down here, please. We need you. They're coming.
You heard her cry, so that's a good thing.
The doctors are also worried about the baby being born in a toilet.
It's not a sterile environment at all, and they could develop some sort of really horrible, overwhelming infection.
I was worried that, did she have brain damage? Did she have any kind of disabilities? There was a million things running through my head.
I'm kind of expecting the baby's not going to make it. There's a reason you go for prenatal care. So I was afraid.
What did I do to her? I couldn't live with myself, and if she didn't make it, having it had been my fault.
Miraculously, the 7-pound, 1-ounce baby appears to be perfectly healthy and close to full term.
Well, the nurse told me that the preliminary tests were all good. It was a combination of joy and relief and thankfulness.
Welcome home.
Hey, baby.
Here, let's get her inside.
Okay.
She was a good-sized baby. Nothing that I would have ever expected, because in no way, shape, or form did she look pregnant.
How you doing, Olivia?
So how could Abigail not know she was pregnant and then mistake delivering a baby for a bowel movement?
I haven't had any children before. To me, it felt like I was going to the bathroom.
Mama had no idea you were in her stomach.
If someone told me that a lady had a kid in the toilet, I would tell them that they're lying to me.
She most likely got pregnant in January, after antibiotics may have rendered her birth control pills ineffective.
There are questions about whether antibiotics affect birth control efficacy. And so we do advise women to use a backup method like a condom during the time that they're taking the antibiotic.
If you told me this was somebody else's kid, I would have said, yeah, right. How naive are you? Don't you look at your own kid? Don't you see what's going on? Guess what? I looked, I didn't see it. And I've heard a bunch of stories since. It happens. She could have been turned the wrong way and didn't show up on an ultrasound. He had an answer for everything.
Abigail carried on quite an active lifestyle while she was pregnant and didn't know it.
I was working in a meat room at a local wholesale distributor, and I was lifting boxes that were 60, 70, 80 pounds onto carts to wheel around, and some of them that were really heavy, the best way for me to pick them up and put them on the carts was to use my stomach as an anchor. So I would just pick the box up, lean it on my stomach, and then put it on the cart and go. I was running around like crazy, you know, just because it is a customer service job, and carrying 60-pound boxes of, you know, chicken to a customer who ordered it, you know, with it balancing on my stomach every time I walked out. And they actually used to laugh at me for doing that because they said I was going to have trouble later on.
Can we get a check on camera 3?
Strenuous exercise might actually affect the well-being of the mother as well as the child. So when the mom is not aware, she does not get the testing looking for possibilities of problems with growth or anatomy. So the mother takes a very big risk by not getting prenatal care and not knowing, because when she doesn't know, she may engage in activities that might be detrimental to the well-being of the child.
Since Abigail thinks she only missed one period, she didn't recognize her digestive problems or symptoms of pregnancy.
All of a sudden, milk smelled terrible. In the last few months, my feet were getting a little swollen.
After Olivia's traumatic birth, Abigail and Ethan don't want to take any more chances on her future.
Found a parenting class which helped answer some of our questions.
Today, baby Olivia is a healthy 6-month-old.
She's active and she's hitting all her milestones.
Olivia's cheerful, she's happy all the time.
It was something I needed in my life, and it was my time.